You're welcome to my channel. In this video, we want to use the principle of tangency to reproduce the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen. Now, the first thing you will do is that you draw your horizontal line this way, faint line first, then you draw your vertical line this way. Draw the vertical line this way with the help of your set square. You can see that. And this is where it is meeting. This point here is that point you're seeing on the screen. Now, if you look at it closely, the inner circle there is giving us what? Radius of 10, right? The diameter from this end to this end is giving us what? As 10. So I am going to measure what? Measure 10 on my meter rule this way. So from this point to this point here is given as what? As 10. So I'll place it. It's given as what? As 10. So I need the radius, which is 5. So this is 5 here, since it is given as 10. So I need radius of what? Of 5. So now I place at the center here. I'm going to draw my radius of what? Of 5. And I'm going to thicken it this way. You can see that? That will be the first thing I am going to do. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the other one, which is from here to here, and that's given as what? 20. Since it's from one end to the other end, that means the diameter. So I need radius of 10 to get out of what? 20. So I'll measure 10 on my meter rule. You can see that. And I'll place it at that same center. Then I'm going to draw a circle in which I am going to thicken. This is what we have here. Is that thicken? Now the next thing is there's another center at this point here, right? So to get to that point, I need to measure a distance of what? 40. That is from this center point to this point here is given as what? 40. So I'll measure 40 on my meter rule from that center. So this is from here, this is 0, right? And this is 40 here. You can see that. So this point here is 40. That will be the center of another circle. So I'll just draw an horizontal line at that point. First of all, faint line. You can see that. Now the next thing I am going to do again is the radius of that circle at that point is given as what? 20. As you can see, of that circle you see is what? 20. So I'm going to measure 20 on my meter rule. From here to this point is 20. And I'll place it at the center here, right? Now draw a circle in which I am going to use a faint line first of all, because I am not sure about the extent of the circle, right? Now the next thing I am going to do is there's another center at this point here. As you can see the arrow at this point here, and that's the center of another circle. So from to get to that center, I need to, the circle is placed at an angle of what? 30 degrees away from the vertical line, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll first of all draw out the vertical line of 30 degrees. I'll place it this way, right? When my set square is standing in this manner, right? Since it's 30, that means my vertical here is 0. So I'm coming in a clockwise direction, right? So we're going clockwise in this aspect. So when I place it this way, I'm going to draw an inclined line this way from this point. I'll draw an inclined line from here, faint line first of all. You can see that. Let me do that again. Faint line first of all. right? Now, if you look at it closely, that you are going to measure a distance of 40 from this center to that place. So from here, which you can see on the screen, to somewhere around here, you measure a distance of what? 40. So I'm going to measure 40 from that center. From 0 to 4 here, you're given as what? As 40. Right? And that will be another center. So since I projected with 30 there, I'm going to use the other aspect so that will form another 90 degree. So I'll just draw another line here this way, faint line. So this center where they meet here is given as what? The center to that circle, which has the radius of what? Of this 12 you see. So I'm going to measure 12 on my meter rule this way from 0. This is 10, 11, and this is what? 12. You can see that. And I'll place it at the center here, and I'll draw another circle, faint line. You can see that. I'll draw another circle, faint line. Now you can see what we've done. We've gotten these two circles. Now we want to start. Now if you look at these two center, they have a circle. The first center here has a radius of 20, right? And second center here has a radius of what? Of 12. And they are joined together by a bigger circle, which has a radius of what? Of 40. Now what do you see? Is like the circle is swelling up, right? It is what? Coming out. So because the circle that radius 40 is coming out, right? You say that what? You are going to subtract. You're going to subtract. So what you do is, for the first circle, it has a radius of what? Of 20, right? You subtract it from this bigger circle, which has a radius of what? Of 40. So it will be arrow 40 minus arrow 20. And that's going to give us what? Arrow 20. What am I going to do? I'm going to measure radius of 20 on my meter rule this way. From here to here is 20, right? And I'll place it at this center here because that's the circle I'm considering. I will strike an arc at this other side here. You can see that. Then the other one, it has a radius of 12. So I'm going to say arrow 40, the same, because they have one radius in common, which is arrow 40, minus what? Arrow 12. And that is going to give us what? 28. Right? That will give us what? 28. So you measure 28, the radius of 28 on my meter rule. Radius of 28 from 0 to 2, this is 28 here, right? And I'll place it at this other center. I'll strike an arc. So where the two circle meet, the two arc meet, is meeting at this point. Let me call it my point P. So from point P, that point you're seeing is the radius of what? Of the 40 you see there. So I'll now place it at this point P, right? I'll take it to this circumference here. Then I'm going to join. Ensure that it is tangential to it, right? So I'm going to what? I'm going to what? So place it at the center here. You can see that. Then I'll place it there. So I'm going to join to this point here, right? Let's put it here. Ensure that it is what? It is tangential to it. Ensure it is what? Tangential. This is what we have here. So I'll just come here and I'll connect this. You're taking it. So this is settled, right? Now the next one is, if you look at this arc here, this curve here, it has a rate of 30. But what do you notice? It is going in. Now look at this, it is going in. Since it is going in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, right? I'm going to what? I'm going to add. So when you're adding, this one is internal, this one will be what? External. So I'm going to be adding. So what I'll do is, this circle you see here right? This circle you see here, and this other circle here that has a radius of 20, they are connected by this circle you see here, which has a radius of what, 30. So they have one circle in common, and that is radius of 30. So that circle in common, radius of 30, right? Minus radius of what? I mean plus radius of what? 20. I told you when the circle is going in, that is, we'll call it external, right? So you're going to add. So that will be radius of what? Radius of 20. So radius of 30 plus radius of 20 give you what? Radius of 50. So I'm going to measure radius of 50 on my meter rule from 0 to 5 is 50, right? And I'm going to place it at the second concept, which is this here. And I'll strike an arc at the side. You can see the arc I'm striking. Now, for the other one of this circle, now we're given that from the beginning of circle to the ending here is given as what? 20. So that is the diameter. So to get the radius is 10. So I'm going to say that what they have in common is what? 30. Arrow 30 plus arrow 10. So I'm using half of this circle here, which is 10. And we're going to be having arrow 40. That's the radius of what? 40. I'm going to place my rule, my compass on my rule and measure 40, right? You can see that. And I'll place it at the center here because that's what I'm considering. And I'm going to strike an arc this way. So when they are meeting at this point, let me call that point Q. So from point Q, you place it at point Q and you connect these two circles together this way. Ensure that they are what? Tangential. Ensure that what? They are tangential. You can see that? You need to make it very close to it, that you adjust it. So you just turn that this way. Be taking it. You can see that? I can easily connect this from this point, so it will be taken to. Since it's taken in the diagram, so we've done that aspect. Now the next one is at this side to radius of 25, you see the circle is going in, right? So that means it is what? It is external. Is that taken now? So it's going in, and when you see something that is like a pothole, you have to fill, right? Since it's going in, you add. If it's coming out, you subtract. So since it's going in here, you're going to add. So this radius here of this circle of 20, the radius is given as what? As 10, plus the other circle that is connected with this circle, which has a radius of 12, right? So I'll use the radius that is common, which is R25 is common. Because it's going in, I'll put plus, right? Then with if I'm considering the arrow 12, right, I'll add it to the arrow 12, and that will give us what? 37. Arrow what? 37. So I'm going to measure 37 on my meter rule this way. Arrow 37 from here to here, this 30, 37 here, right? And I'll place it at this point. Since I'm considering this circle that I'm placing at the center of the circle, and I'll strike an arc this way. You can see that. Then for the other one, I'll see what they have in common. R25, right? Now this circle here that is connected to it has a diameter of 20 and the rest will be what? 10, right? So you press R25 plus what? R10, and that'll give us R35. Is that okay now? So I'll now measure 35 on my meter rule this way from R to what? 35 here. So I'll be having this to be from this point. Since I'm considering this circle, I'll use the center of the circle and I'll strike an arc. So where they meet, I can call it point arrow, right? So I can just call that point arrow. So from the point arrow here, I'll just join these two together using the principle of what? Tangency to join these two together, right? You see that? So let's join this together this way. This is what I have here. Right? These are the setup. They are going to cover it up, close, gauge it to the circle, so you make it to be thickened. Right? So I'm having this way. You can see that? So I successfully brought out the shape that you can see at the right hand side of the screen. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to draw the dimension. So this is what we have here. So we successfully reproduce the figure that you can see at the right hand side of the screen, right? So if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the video. Thanks for watching.